Have plans to stick around.
Live at Daybreak, Mayor Stothard explains her strategy on attacking the coronavirus outbreak so far and gives us an idea of what's ahead.
And I'm here at La Vista Middle School, where free lunches and breakfasts are being packed up for families to grab. I have a live interview with the superintendent coming up.
And Rusty and I are keeping a close watch on foggy and drizzly weather conditions for your morning drive. It's all part of Daybreak for Monday, March 23rd.
Good morning, and thank you so much for waking up with us. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Dave Zavolinsky. Right back over to Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord, back with us here this week. Yeah. Rusty, off to a rainy, drizzly, cloudy start to the day.
Yeah, luckily it's not raining too hard, but we just have a little bit of drizzle, some mist out there. More of an annoying than anything, and not great when you step out, but that's what we have on the map. You really got to turn up the sensitivity of the radar to see it, and that's what you have right here floating around. It is very, very light, and among that there's some fog as well. So we have some drizzle, some mist, some fog, a lot of low-level moisture. Visibility 2 miles or less in quite a few spots. Plattsmouth, Council Bluffs at 3/4 of a mile, 1 mile in Blair, 1 mile in Wahoo. Hour-by-hour forecast for today shows we're going to be right around 40 degrees for a while. It's going to take a little bit to burn through this, and when it does, we won't get perfect sunshine this afternoon, up to about 52 for the afternoon high. So we'll struggle to warm just a little bit during the day today. Let's get a look at our first alert traffic. Now another update with that, our first one if you're just waking up at 6 o'clock.
Thanks, Rusty. Here's a look at the fog map right now. We continue to track here some patches of some of that denser fog. Rusty kind of looked at the metro view, and here's the wide view this morning. Most of the fog along the Missouri River and just south of the metro. You can see a pocket right around the airport at Council Bluffs. Wahoo at 1 mile, 3/4 of a mile at Plattsmouth, and 1/4 in Nebraska City. So watch out for some areas of some real reduced visibility out there this morning. Otherwise, it's just been the drizzle creating some wet roads across the metro with just some patchy areas of some dense fog. No crashes out there right now. Here's what one of our cameras look like at I-680 and West Dodge Road via the in Nebraska DOT cams, and you can see some of the haze up in the air, but it's not too bad out there on the 680 loop. Cerise?
Clay, thank you. Well, new cases of COVID-19 reported here in the heartland. We start in Nebraska, where officials say they have identified 2 new cases in the state. The newest case is a woman in her 40s from Dawson County who recently traveled, and she is currently self-isolating at home. Another man in his 50s from Buffalo County also tested positive. He is a family member of another person who had coronavirus. According to DHHS, the total number of cases in the state now stands at 50.
Meanwhile, officials in Iowa also reporting some new cases. Governor Kim Reynolds held a news conference yesterday to say there are 22 new cases in her state. That brings the total in Iowa up to 90. The governor also announced more businesses will be shutting down after an emergency declaration.
Effective at 10 p.m. today, salons and barbershops, medical spas, massage therapy, tattoo establishments, tanning salons, and swimming pools will be closed until March 31st.
The governor also announced that foreclosures on residential, commercial, and agricultural properties will be suspended for now.
Well, during a press conference yesterday, Douglas County leaders talked about why there has been an uptick in local coronavirus cases. Health Director Audie Poor says the more people are tested, the more cases will be found. The Mayor Jean Stothard took the podium. She says right now there are no plans for Omaha to go on a lockdown status because people here are staying home and businesses are temporarily closing their doors. That's not been the case in other states and cities.
They were still in dense gatherings. There was still a lot of people in restaurants and bars and things, and that's why those mayors and governors are taking much more severe steps. Right here, right now, thank you to the people in Omaha that what we are doing right now is, we think, is working, and we don't see any further restrictions.
Now, because some retail stores are still open, health and city leaders are still urging you to be cautious wherever you go because we have seen community spread. Well, the Douglas County Health Department also explained their new decision not to release locations of low-level risk exposure sites across the county.
It potentially gives a false hope. Gives the hope or the impression to individuals that, well, I wasn't at the Walmart at that and that time, and therefore I do not need to worry. If we have community spread, as we have at this time with at least 2 cases, we should all behave the way like we need to be cautious wherever we go.
Well, it was a busy day across the country as well.
New York and Washington State did receive a major disaster declaration, and the same is expected for California. The National Guard's been activated to help those three states.